Hello, everybody.
Hi there.
How's everybody doing on this fine, wet day?
Yes, spring has sprung in all its ways.
Kind of, sort of. It was snowing here yesterday.
Yes, but April showers, whether they're snow or rain, lead to May flowers. So
this is very true. But what about snow?
It melts.
What about the cold? My poor magnolia tree is looking wants to bloom, but is kind of droopy. We are Quintessential Baker.
Yes, I'm Miranda.
And I'm Phoebe.
We're so glad you're here, even if you're not here, because we know you can watch it later on Facebook in the Quintessential Life group or on our YouTube channel, Quintessential Baker. So, it's a mouthful, but somebody there was name recognition by somebody.
We're the
local,
QB.
and I'm like, yeah, the QB.
The QB, empowering you to be a quintessential baker too.
That's right.
So we're making scones today.
Yes, we are.
We're using which flour blend?
So this flour blend, we've got 325 grams of it measured out. It is the, I think it's version 2. So it's got the almond flour in it. I have done some testing recently where I've been able to make it with the nut-free blend. I'm still tweaking that, so I'm not going to give you exact numbers for tweaks for that, but just know that that's
keep your eye on the blog, because we will post all of our keep our recipes up to date.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of testing with the nut-free, so very soon I'm going to go back into each of the recipes and put in the little nut-free and sometimes even vegan options. Basically, the way I say it, if we say this can be made dairy-free, you're just going to use your preferred non-dairy substitutes for butter, milk, that sort of thing. So it pretty much is going to work just fine.
So go over to quintessentialbaker.com and you can click on our store and you can find our baking guide, which shows you what goes into our flour blends.
Exactly. So, all right. So 325. And then we're going to put some psyllium. We've got 10 grams of psyllium husk powder measured out. So we'll put that in there. And then
some
third cup of sugar
going in.
And a 3/4 teaspoon of salt.
My little piggy.
Yes.
3/4, which I love. I love this.
It's so fun
that this is a 3/4 teaspoon measure.
If you don't have one of those, just use a 1/2 and 1/4. All good. And then 1 tablespoon of baking powder. And that's all the dry ingredients. Blah, blah, blah.
Here we go.
Okay, so we'll mix these all up good.
Blend all those dries.
So you don't see those little streaks of psyllium in there anymore. We want it all mixed in good. So here's all nice and smooth. Okay, let's move.
Did we say what we're making today?
Let's go. Oh, well.
Did we talk about? I think I mentioned it for a brief moment.
Scones.
We're making scones, people.
It's the perfect day for it.
We're making scones.
Scones and a hot cup of tea on this.
Oh my goodness.
Dreary spring day. Yep. Okay. So let's do our wet ingredients. So we're going to do 1/2 cup of milk, or 1/2 and 1/2. We just have milk here, so 1/2 cup. I was just realizing this cup is older than my kids.
Woo!
Yeah.
I think I'm a little over.
It's okay. I remember being this brand new out on my own and getting a bunch of money for my birthday and being like, I'm going to the kitchen supply store.
Nice.
And I got a set of measuring cups. So back in 1994 or something. Okay. So then you get your milk measured out, and then you can crack your eggs. You get 2 eggs into the bowl or measuring cup. Scones are fun because you can customize them to whatever you want, whatever flavor you want. So I've decided today, just based on what I had in my kitchen, we're going to make cranberry orange. Yep. And so we're going to, after we cut in butter into the flour mixture, we're going to add the cranberries, but not yet because we don't want them to get in the way of the butter cutting in. But I'm going to go ahead and add the orange flavor. Right. So because I don't always have oranges on hand, I am going to use wild orange essential oil as the flavor. If you don't have essential oil, crazy, get some. But if you don't, you have to have an orange, and then you can put some zest, probably like a teaspoon or two would probably be a good amount of zest for that. So
what about orange flavor? Like there's flavor.
You can do extract too, right? So like if you're making just like a plain scone, you would be using vanilla extract, and the recipe calls for 2 teaspoons. So you would just use any other extract, same amount. So lemon extract, orange extract.
Awesome.
Coffee extract.
That sounds
like
good.
Coffee, chocolate chip. I mean, see, the possibilities are endless. Whatever you love.
My favorite scone is ginger pear. And I usually will put a little bit of lemon in with that.
Yeah.
And it tastes really good.
So I just put 10 drops. I suggest in the blog 5 drops, but I want to like make them really taste the orange.
And that's just in your face.
Yeah, that's like just your personal preference. If I ever give you a range of ingredients, always start with the lower amount the first time you make it, and then you'll know if you need more. So, like the dried fruit is going to be 1 to 2 cups. I'm gonna make the recipe with 1 cup. Let's set that aside and let's get our butter. So we've got 8 tablespoons, 1 stick of butter, and we're gonna cut this in with the pastry cutter. I know there's other ways to do that.
But I use a fork. I cut it up into like little pieces, like little squares. Yeah. And then I spread it around. And then
you just like press.
Yep. Use a big fork and just go at it. It works just fine.
Yeah. And some people use like 2 knives, sort of like there's cutting motion.
Now, my vegan friends, I have to tell you, I have tried making these scones with Earth Balance. And I've tried making them with coconut oil.
That's my favorite.
Coconut oil works a lot better because it doesn't have any water in
the ingredients. So, yeah. I find that when you use coconut oil, you're going to want to use it chilled. So like measure it out. Let it get cold in the refrigerator, just like I'm using cold butter. This just came out of the fridge a few minutes ago.
Definitely, good point.
And then when you're cutting it in, you really do want to leave a bunch of like pea-sized chunks. You do not want to mix it all the way in. We're not making shortbread here. We're making scones, and we want there to be not flakiness per se, but like an irregular texture.
Right, kind of like if you were, if you saw our video on croissants. You don't want to like blend it all in. You kind of fold it in. This is like keeping it crumbly. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it creates pockets of solid butter that melts.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll call that good. So if you guys can see, there are definitely still lumps of butter still in there.
Yep.
So I'll call that good. And then since we've finished the cutting in, we can throw in the cranberries.
Yes.
So
cranberries are in.
That finishes off the entire all the ingredients. That's everything. Okay, so I just mix that a little bit. Not that it matters. And you can just dump that right in.
Yep.
And we'll just mix it up. And we just previously cracked up the egg yolks so that they were blended in a little bit.
Yes.
Okay. And a lot of times it's hard to tell if this is properly like hydrated. You might need to drizzle a little more milk in there, but the best way to figure that out is actually with your hands because you've got these lumps that get all the milk and everything, and they're moist on the inside, and if you get to kind of have to break them up. So I'm kind of doing that with my little spatula here right now. Make sure there's always going to be some flour at the bottom of the bowl, so I'm just like sort of folding this to make sure I'm bringing the flour up to the top. Okay, so when you have your dough done, you have to decide what size scones you want. And if you want little dainty ones that aren't too much, then you're going to split your dough in half. And if you want larger ones, you're going to keep it in one lump. So we're going to work on a piece of parchment paper that is cut to fit the size of the baking sheet, the baking pan, cookie sheet, whatever you're going to bake it on. And before you even start all of this process, Oven
Preheat,
goes
425.
Yep.
Do you want me to hold this up so we can see what's happening here? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because we're gonna,
just
because you're gonna be cutting and
just tip it.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna dump the full amount of the dough out onto the parchment paper, and I'm going to show you the two loaves because it's a little more complex. So we're gonna just cut it in half. And this is not rocket science. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then just separate the two so they're kind of like in two separate areas of the parchment paper. And then you're just going to flatten it into a nice round. That's about 1.5 inches. So about 6 inches across. Again, not rocket science. And then do the other one. And part of the reason why I'm choosing to show you guys how to make this size, the smaller ones, is because that is what we've baked earlier. So the finished ones will be
the same size.
Yes. All right. So then you take a knife and you're going to cut it like a pizza into triangles. So you can do it in 6 or 8. I think with the smaller ones, it's better to do 6 because the 8 gets pretty tiny. So like third and a third. Ooh, these cranberries just want to stick to my knife. And a good thing to do is to sort of wiggle the edges apart a little bit. Whoop. Come on, you get back in there. Just to create just a little bit of room. They're gonna stay separate, and they're gonna bake together, but they're gonna stay separate enough to just break along those lines when you go to eat them. And there we go. And that is that. And I got pick a random thing, stick it back on there.
Okay. I usually just eat it. Oh, on.
My hands are a mess. You want to transfer that on the baking sheet?
Sure. Get this on the baking sheet and get this into the oven. That's what it looks like.
Yep.
There, folks.
Yep. And that goes in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes. If your oven is really consistent, you might not need to swap it around. If it's, when the back gets brown before the front, whatever, you could rotate it sort of halfway. So that's it.
Now you've got scones.
Yay!
Ta-da!
Yeah. So this is 2 separate types. This is these 3 here these were the blueberry lime that I made the other day, and these are the full-on dairy, egg, everything. These are nut-free chocolate chip with they're technically vegan.
Yeah. So, we made these with coconut oil.
Yep, those have coconut oil, and they don't have eggs, and there's some...
Here, you want to break one open?
Yeah,
this one, and I'll break this one open, and we can try it.
So these actually went in the freezer after I made them, and then I re-warmed them and thawed them out this morning, and they're nice and crispy, crunchy on the outside, and just a lovely crumb in the middle.
Mmm.
Breakfast.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
So good.
Mmm.
So good. Okay.
Wow.
That was too easy.
Mm-hmm.
We have news.
We got lots of news.
We got
lots of news that we can't share yet.
not 100% because we don't want to promise things that aren't nailed in stone yet. Is that a thing? Nailed in stone. Set in stone, nailed down.
Yes.
So, the one thing that we have control over, which we do have the ability to announce, is we've gotten My Kitchen certified for home processing, which means we can start to do things that we were thinking we'd have to wait to have like our own commercial kitchen or to pay for access to another commercial kitchen. But we don't. We can make some things that you guys can buy
locally,
New
York based,
mailed anywhere in New York.
Yes.
Yeah. And hint, if you know somebody who lives in New York, you could have them buy it and send it to you.
Them's the laws.
one commercial facility where we could ship around the world. It won't matter. But right now we got to start where we are.
That's right.
So what that means is flour blends will be able to be bought off the website very soon. We're just going to work on the labeling and exactly how to package it and how to mail it. Get those details nailed down, but keep an eye. Yep.
And
Jules is here. Hi, Jules.
We'll be able to have a pickup spot in Ithaca.
Yes,
too.
Definitely. We have at least 3 options that we could.
Oh,
we
yeah.
just got to pick the one that maybe has the most space, shelf space, or whatever.
Yeah.
All in downtown Ithaca. So we'll do that. Yeah. So you local people won't have to pay for the shipping option.
Right.
Yeah. But this is going to save you guys so much trouble. I know there are people out there who are less concerned with the exact price per pound that they're getting this flour. Like the best way to do it is the way I do it. I buy the 25-pound bag and of each of the flours and I blend it all up, and that gives me the least price per pound. If I don't count my labor, of course, labor is always valuable. So your time is valuable. And so when you can buy the flour blends without having to do all of that and have, buy them in smaller quantities at higher prices, it'll definitely be worth your while. And then you guys can join us like right away.
Well, and we're also going to be doing mixes. So to make it another level, another step level, and have lots of the dry ingredients already in our mixes for specific things like scones,
pizza, sandwich bread,
cookies. Yeah. So you guys are going to get some awesome stuff. We're really going for it.
Yep, definitely. We're small and we don't know what we're doing, and it's all just the beginning, but that's how you do everything. You just throw yourself in there.
So
that's flour blend.
I know you guys are clamoring to know what we're doing next week. So
it's Cinco de Mayo. So we thought we would do something kind of along those lines. So we're going to show you how to make grain-free tortillas. So simple and easy and yummy. Like if you guys have ever had freshly made flour tortilla versus the kind that you can buy in the store, it's like a whole nother food. It's not even the same thing.
Yep.
And these are pretty awesome. So
cool.
That's next week. And then this is the part, okay. So you're going to be able to buy flour blends and mixes on the website, whether you're local to Ithaca or living in the state of New York. And then if you're in Ithaca and you just want to buy the done food, there are going to be
that's the other level. That's the other level.
There's going to be some opportunities in at least 2, possibly 3 places where you'll be able to buy some of Quintessential Baker products. Yummy goodness.
Yeah, we're excited to announce it. We're excited. It's coming.
Things take time. Yep. Anything that takes time is worth waiting for, or like it's worth waiting the time. Not anything. I'm sure there's a lot of things you could wait a long time for and it's not worth waiting for.
Probably.
No, but this is worth it. So
okay.
That's it. We shall see you next week for
Go
tortillas.
about your day. Enjoy.
Yes. All right. Bye everybody.